Good morning, guys. Today we are in Stoke Newington on this very chilly morning with one simple mission. We're going to see if it's possible to do all of your Christmas shopping without having to go online. We're going to go and visit some of the quirky individual and local shops and meet some of the business owners and see what cool items they've got on offer. Let's go check it out. Kicking it off, we are on Stoke Newington High Street, outside Stoke Newington Toys and Books. I wonder what we're going to find inside. Let's go and check it out. So starting off, we are in the Stoke Newington Toy and Bookshop. This is an absolute local staple. It has been here since 1987, where it was originally a bookshop. The bookshop now resides next door, which has opened the space for this place to become this incredible toy shop. Over here we've got some of your 3+ and your Play-Doh sets. Now, this takes me back to when I was a kid, and I don't know about you, but I once tried to eat Play-Doh and was scolded by my parents for it. It's not just toys for the little kids. There are actually like a range of family-friendly activities here. So you've got, your classics like your Monopoly, your Scrabble, chess and checkers. Plenty of different activities which you and the family could take part in around Christmas Day. I'd be careful with Monopoly because sometimes it can get pretty competitive. So over here we actually have some toys which cater for, your teenagers and upwards, like this fantastic National Geographic crystal growing lab, which I'm not gonna lie, I actually would quite like for myself. If any of you are Breaking Bad fans, I think this could actually be a perfect present. So next up, we are immediately next door actually, and it's at the Stoke Newington Bookshop. As I mentioned, it's been going for 34 years now, but 20 years ago they decided to expand and open up this dedicated area for the books. Now it's filled with loads of incredible reads, both locally sourced and internationally sourced. Let's go have a look. So, as you can see, this shop is just filled wall to wall with incredible books. It's super easy to navigate as well. As you come in, these are all of the new reads, featuring a couple of local faces, such as Gemma Reeves, Victoria Park. And over here we have That Woman by Helen Monks-Sakar. Now, a lot of the locations that feature in this book actually happen to be in N16 and Stokey local, which is a cool fact. So for me personally, the coolest part of the shop is actually the staff picks table. As you can see, it's just absolutely inundated with staff recommendations, and each book comes with its own personally handwritten explanation of why you should pick up this book and give it a read. Fun, interesting fact that some of the books in this shop are actually written by the people who work here, such as an essay by Josh Martin. The shop also has a fantastic selection of graphic novels for those of you who aren't interested in the words. This one was actually, again, written by someone that works here. So, next on our list is, again, catering for perhaps the younger members of the family. We have What Mother Made right here on Stoke Newington Church Street. This is one of two branches of this Hackney-based shop, which caters for children and adults' contemporary clothing range. So, if you are a convenience shopper like myself, the stocking fillers and gift ideas have been actually placed right here as you walk into the shop. Here you can see loads of cool and quirky little gifts, which you just know that your little one's going to love. I think my little sister would go absolutely nut, especially something like this little Vivienne Westwood doll here. So here we have some beautifully handmade pieces. Like this would be a fantastic Christmas Day outfit. And the great thing about all of these items of clothing is that they were handmade right here in Hackney. So they have another studio which is over in Homerton, which is where these clothes are actually manufactured. So they haven't travelled very far at all. So in terms of zero waste and sustainability, it doesn't become much more zero waste than that. As you can see, we actually have some matching adults and kids pieces. So if you are maybe vibing with having a little mini-me, how cool would that be? In addition to all of these wonderful handmade clothing pieces, the shop owner has actually curated a lot of items from across Europe as well. So we've got some fantastic Scandinavian wooden toys here, which are just so classy and timeless. So one thing that's going to be at the top of your shopping list this Christmas cards, is the one thing that I always forget. Luckily, we have an absolute gem of a greeting card shop right here in Stoke Newington. It was actually recently voted the best independent greeting card shop in London. Let's go and check out Earlybird. If you're wondering why this is the best independent greeting card retailer in London, it's because a lot of the designs were done by the owners, Heidi and Dom, aka Earlybird Publishing. Now, a lot of these cards, you'll notice all the cards have been printed on a paper from fully sustainable forests. So with every individual quirky card that you're buying, you're actually doing your bit for the planet as well. They're also working to minimise the plastic and any waste as well. So there's an ethical footprint with every purchase you make in the store. All of the gift wrapping paper in this shop is actually recyclable as well. A fun fact that I learned today is that one of the issues when it comes to recycling wrapping paper is actually the sellotape that you use on the wrapping paper, which interrupts the process of recycling. That's why they even have this own very special paper tape, so you can wrap your presents and chuck away these and make sure you recycle them afterwards without any issues. Quaint is the word that I would use to describe this next little Stokey shop. Situated just on Stoke Newington Church Street outside of Abney Park, we have Folka. So Folka tells stories through folklore and unique craft objects. So the items in here have been uniquely inspired by folklore and folk art and just are unlike anything I've ever seen. So the first thing that immediately catches my eyes is just the level of detailing and craftsmanship on a lot of these items. You really have to get in close to appreciate that this isn't just a little plastic bouquet of roses, but each of these have been individually handmade. Now, all of the items in the shop have actually been handcrafted with an onus on reviving old or lost traditions. Things only get more interesting as you get into the back of the shop. Not only do we have these incredible, bespoke, unique pottery pieces, but we also have these fantastic nativity scenes, which, if you look very closely, have all been carefully made out of foil. These were actually all created in Krakow in Poland and have been brought over especially for the lucky customers of Stoke Newington. Continuing with our Christmas shopping, if you need a gift for someone very practical, this is the perfect shop for you. Nook specialises in design-led utility items. Now, At first glance, that might not make any sense to you at all. So I'm just going to go inside and show you exactly what I mean. As I said before, this shop is for the practical, but it's also for those with an eye of design. You notice that all of the items in the shop are everyday items that everyone will need and use, but they all have a design flair to them. Take, for example, these Hey monothermal bottles. They're not just your standard hot drinking flask. Nice recyclable design, lightweight, perfect if you happen to be buying for someone who might be a graphic designer or an illustrator or one of those creatives. The beauty of shopping in somewhere like this is that all of these items have been curated, especially by the owners, instead of you having to spend hours and hours of searching online to find unique items. Take, for example, this Kinto set. All of these items have come from Japan. Now, it's not every day that you can walk to your nearby shop and find, you know, something unusual like this travel tumbler, which has come all the way from the Far East. This next one's for you fashionistas, you debonaires and you dapper chaps. Array caters for some of London's fantastic menswear. Now, if you're interested in women's wear, you're going to have to stay tuned for part 2. But let's first take and appreciate how incredible this window display is. It's the perfect way to greet us into the shop. Now, I know some people might find shopping for clothes for other people intimidating, but I don't think you can ever go wrong with some of these smaller bits, like these wonderful gloves and mittens, or even, you know, your thick alpaca flex socks. What a flex. Now, it's not just clothing and accessories that they stock here. They also have a fantastic selection of men's cosmetics as well. A lot of it, as you can see, was made right here in England. So it's high quality, hasn't travelled far, and it's been perfectly created for all of your male needs. If you want to play it safe, you could always go for some of the men's cosmetics or perhaps some accessories like your hats and scarves and gloves. You really can get a wow factor by going perhaps for one of these, maybe one of these men's staples like a nice flannel shirt or a knitwear sweater. And with items this nice, I don't think they're going to want to bring them back. So that concludes part 1 of our Stokey shopping experience. I don't know about you, but I've been absolutely blown away by the amount of cool and unique items that I have seen today. Hopefully it's given you some inspiration on some of the items that you can buy for your Christmas shopping this year. We're not quite finished with you though. Stay tuned for part 2 where we'll be covering over even more of the cool, unique, local independent shopping ideas for you.